Got a quick little Duramax update for you all today, and without me even saying what this most recent modification was, I'm sure you can all guess. Here's a hint. Now, window tint is something that many of you have been asking me to do since day one. Matter of fact, I think the first video I ever made with the truck, I had people saying, Mike, please tint your goddamn windows. Well, here it is. I finally answered your call, and it only took me like a year. That's not too bad, right? I was never a fan of window tint, which is one of the reasons why I was putting this off for so long. And I don't really know why. I think that, you know, one of the reasons, I live in Pennsylvania, so it's not like down south where everyone has their windows tinted. You know, it's not that hot year round. Sun really isn't an issue except for 3 or 4 months out of the year here. So it was never something that I felt like I needed. The other thing was, you know, I think that I saw a lot of shitty tit jobs. I think I saw a lot of shitty tint jobs might grow up. But I think that I saw a lot of shitty tint jobs, you know, on many of the vehicles that I saw with tint, like it was bubbling, it was all purple and looked really dumb. And I was like, I don't want that on my vehicle. I don't want that shit to happen. But luckily, I got it professionally installed by a guy who was personally recommended by Shane, who really knows what he's doing, so I don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff. At least I shouldn't. I better not have to deal with that kind of stuff. But I am really happy with the way it turned out. You know, doing it to my vehicle finally, you guys, you did it. You finally made me a believer because I absolutely love it so far. So what I did was I ended up going with 10% on the driver and passenger windows here, and I was debating between 10 or 5% on these, and ultimately I'm glad that I went with 10 because it's pretty dark. Like, you can pretty much not see in it from this angle, and I was driving around last night and it's you know, it's pretty dark, let's just put it that way. So I think 10% was the right call. And on the back windows I went with 5%, so you can't really, these windows pretty much are worthless at this point, which is great because I don't want anyone to see in, and it's not like I'm using these to see out, so that's perfect. And of course, again, as usual, mid-vlog, now I got like some construction work going on over there. Not only does the 5% make the back window look really cool, but of course, if anybody's behind me with their high beams or whatever, I sure as hell am not gonna be able to see it. So that looks awesome. And again, really love the way it makes all these stickers pop. Now, the only other thing that I was gonna do was I was gonna do the full windshield, and the guy who installed this would not do it. Apparently it's very illegal. I mean, this is already illegal as it is, but apparently the full windshield is like really illegal. It's a big no-no. So he didn't want to do it. Obviously, I would not have done the windshield in like 10 or 5 or anything like that. I would have done the windshield in probably, you know, 60 or something really, really high. But what we did was a 5% little sun visor here. That looks really cool, and I'll show you guys an inside view in a second. All right, so the inside view here, if I can get my fat ass into this truck, I'll give you a quick look here. Needless to say, it is a pretty drastic change from what it looked like before, and let me show you guys a quick little before and after clip of when the tint was getting installed. All right, so here's a little before shot, what the truck looks like now. Obviously no tint, except for the stock tint on the back windows. All right, as you can see, this is the after. We went pretty dark. Got the strip on the windshield there, 5%. Looks awesome. So yeah, a pretty stark contrast, and unfortunately I do not have a before and after of the inside of the truck, but you guys can all use your imagination because this is what every single window looked like before, and now it's nice and dark like this. So what made me change my mind? Well, 2 things. Number 1, a buddy of mine has a GTI that has window tint all the way around, and hello. How you doing? Good, how are you?
Selling it or admiring it?
Making a video.
Oh, making a video. Very pretty.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Did that guy call the cops on me? I'm pretty sure that guy in the Prius called the cops on me because I came over here and he came up here and parked and did nothing. The cop came up, drove around him, asked me what I was doing, then he drove away, and now this guy drove away. So I'm pretty sure that little dickbag in his gay fucking little Prius actually called the cops on me. But anyway, what made me finally change my mind and want to get some window tint? Well, there were 2 things. Number 1 was a buddy of mine has a GTI with window tint all the way around. Now, his windows are not nearly as dark as this, so some of this, of course, is for aesthetic purposes. But, you know, I was driving around a lot in that car over the summer, and I really grew to like it. It kept the car a lot cooler. You know, the sun wasn't wasn't beating down on you all the time. So I really, grew to appreciate the tint on his car. And the other big thing for me was privacy, which is something that you might not think of right away with window tint, but it was definitely an important factor for me. I just like the fact that, people can't really see in it now. If I'm just sitting in the truck relaxing or whatever, especially if I'm with, my girlfriend or family or whatever, it's hard to see in at red lights and stuff like that. People can't stare at you. And like I said, with the back window, the headlight thing. So there's actually a lot of little practical reasons why I finally decided to pull the trigger and get myself some window tint. That is going to do it for this little Duramax update, and the next modification I have coming very, very soon, and it has to do with this front end over here, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day. I gotta tell you, it's been a pretty long time since I had an incident with the police. Not since way back when I had the Hellcat and I got pulled over for speeding, which of course I made a video about that too. All right, guys, well, it finally happened. I got pulled over in my Hellcat. And now, just in the last month, I got pulled over for speeding in the Corvette. Luckily, I just got a warning. I got the speeding ticket in the Duramax. I had the incident today in the Duramax where the Prius owner called the cops on me. And I had the incident where I was in a parking lot and the police came up to me and started bitching at me for my tires being too wide, also in the Duramax. So it's been an interesting month for Street Speed 717 and the police.